Hey guys, Marcos Villegas here, and once again, this is your Fight Up TV news brief. Now, some huge news today in the world of MMA as Jon Jones released a statement that he's entering a drug treatment facility program on the heels of a failed drug test that was administered on December 4th. He, of course, failed that drug test when metabolites of cocaine showed up, and it was administered by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Now, the NSAC follows WADA protocols, and cocaine is not a banned substance when out-of-competition testing is done. So they could not fine or stop Jon Jones from defending his UFC light heavyweight title at UFC 182, in which he beat Daniel Cormier via unanimous decision. Now, Jon Jones released this statement in which it reads, "With the support of my family, I've entered into a drug treatment facility. I want to apologize to my fiance, my children, as well as my mother, father, and brothers for the mistake that I made. I also want to apologize to the UFC, my coaches, my sponsors, and equally important to my fans. I am taking this treatment program very seriously. Therefore, at this time, my family and I would appreciate privacy." Shortly soon after, the UFC released their own statement in which they noted that they fully support Jon Jones' decision to check into the treatment facility, and they feel that he will come out a better man as a result. Now, the real question is, and there's two important things that come to mind when reading the story, and one of them is, this test was administered on December 4th, and they knew that Jones tested positive for cocaine. Was the UFC notified? And if they were, why didn't they say anything about it? And why wasn't anything done in terms of a fine against Jon Jones? I know Yahoo broke the story as these test results were released, but if the UFC knew, that means they were holding back that information, and it makes it kind of convenient when you look at it that they scrapped out-of-competition testing in a story that was written by MMA Junking in the beginning of this year. Now, the other question that arises from this, should cocaine be a banned substance for test out of competition? We know that you can have any steroid-type substances in your system, of course, because it gives you an unfair advantage, but should cocaine be added to that list? As we hold these athletes, and many of you guys, in your eyes, hold them to a higher standard than regular people. But it's also important to realize and understand that these athletes, even though they're famous and they're different in terms of their athletic endeavors to me and you, are still people. And at times, they get caught up in the same problems that we, as normal folk, get caught up in. But I want to hear your guys' reaction. What do you think about all this happening? Do you feel that cocaine should be a banned substance for out-of-competition testing? I know looking through the internet, looking through Twitter, that a hashtag's probably going to come out of this. Probably a few hashtags. One, I'm in love with the cocoa. I've already seen online. But if I could leave you just one bit of knowledge, one golden nugget to live by. In the words of the immortal Rick James, cocaine is a hell of a drug. Well, that does it for this news brief. Of course, I'm Marcos Villegas. You can follow us over at Fight Up TV on @FightUpTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Me as well, give me a follow. I need it. At Marcos Villegas. It's Marcos Villegas, on Instagram at Me Llamo Marcos on Twitter. Look at that. I almost forgot my Twitter. That's horrible, huh? And of course, subscribe to us as well. YouTube.com/FightHub. For now, from the Fight Up TV studios, I'm Marcos Villegas, and this has been your Fight Up TV news brief.